That was the advice that we need to continue to use the metric system.
Who gave you the advice?
AGD, when we started.
Where? What?
Accountant General's Department.
They advise you to use the metric system?
No, to continue to use
Yes.
the metric system.
With a view to phasing it out?
Yes, because if we should stop immediately, then, and start the image, we might have issues. So what we do is that the bad lucks from...
So up to the time you were leaving, these the two systems that are run parallel?
Yes.
Together?
Yes.
Now, we will come back to the use of the two systems and how efficient is it in terms of efficiency and for the purpose of audit and transparency when we come to deal with the vouchers.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, the second one, 31st of January 2020, you have the supplier Sat Guru Travel and Tours, 2 air tickets, Banjul to Abu Dhabi, $151,000.
Yes, it's clearly above the threshold for single sourcing, but usually the reasons, the circumstances will be, you will have only one supplier who is willing to provide you a service on credit when we are not in position to actually buy, at that moment in time. So that's what, will cost these issues of single sourcing of goods and services from one or two suppliers.
Now, you did not follow the grounds in relation to single sourcing, did you?
No, we did not.
Yeah, so it's a violation of the Procurement Regulation Act.
Yes, so, but like I said, the circumstances will force us to do that.
To do that?
Yeah.
But apparently, for single source, it is clear the grounds that really you must fall within.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that?
I agree. I'm just trying to explain the circumstances. Yes.
Now, 24th of March 2020, Modern Stationery Store, purchase of 3 toners, amount of $73,050. Again,
the same circumstances.
The same circumstance. You did not follow due process. You did not follow the requirements in relation to the procurement rules.
Yeah, because of the circumstances I stated.
Yeah. So you take responsibility for that?
Yes.
As CEO. 10th of March 2020, the suppliers Keba Jata, spare parts and maintenance, around $66,000. The procurement rules were not followed. Do you take responsibility for that?
Yes, sir.
Global Electronics, 6th of May 2020, purchase of air conditioner, $20,000. The procurement rules were not followed. You take responsibility for that, sir?
Yes, sir.
2nd of June 2020, Modern Stationery Store, purchase of toner and stationery for $6,575. You take responsibility for that?
Yes, sir.
Modern Stationery, 4th of June 2020, the purchase of toner, $82,225. You take responsibility for that, sir?
Yes, sir.
6th of October 2020, Modern Stationery Store, purchase of stationery, $29,152. Do you take responsibility for that?
Yes, sir. The procedures are not correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to hear from you, why do you think it's necessary to follow procurement rules?
Value for money.
Value for money.
Most importantly, and to create a space for a healthy competition.
Competitive bidding.
Yes.
Value for money.
Yes.
So if you do not follow procedure, the idea is that then you open the process to probably be manipulated. It is at risk of fraud as well, because then you will not attain value for money.
Yes, I agree. Just then going back just to the same circumstances. There will be moments where we will be in our limp period, and then there you will have only few suppliers who will be willing to give you goods on credit, and then the only option that you have is to get it from those who are willing to give you the goods or the services on credit.
Right. Yes. Page 86, Mr. Jonga, you have the issue of payroll deductions. So when you give loan, or issue loan to staff, you cannot deduct more than 50% of their net salary. Do you understand this?
Yes, I do.
It appears as if we have a list of individuals that worked for Brikama Council at the time who were really deducted more than 50% of their salary. You have Fatoumata Jobate.
Yes, sir.
You have Usman Jaju, Lamin Jao, Mafoji Kante, Mohamed Jata, Seni Keita, Fatou Dabo, Sidi Kamara, Modou Kamara, Lamin S. Jata, Fatou Sidiba, Makany Baro, and Mariama Jata. Jaite.
Yes, sir.
Why was that the case?
It is incorrect. It contravenes the finance and accounting manual to do that. So that's clearly wrong. No reason, but it's.
So why was that the case?
If you could look at our response, we admit that the payroll deductions are incorrect.
Yeah.
So we accept the findings that you cannot deduct more than 50% of one's salary.
And just talking about loan, when you, what do you factor in granting loans to employees of council? What guides you as a CEO?
Like I stated yesterday, I sought advice from the Director of Finance, but overall what you look at is the length of service of the applicant,
yes,
the grade, and the loan that the staff is applying for, whether it's a personal loan or it's a building loan,
yes,
or it's a vehicle loan.
Do they apply? Do they have applications that they will put in, and which you will have to examine and see where they fall under, and then see whether they are in fact qualified, and how this the repayment procedure for these loans and the guarantees, if any?
Yes, like I stated yesterday, there is no specific loan form.
Yes.
What we have is a requisition form that they use and apply.
Yeah.
Either it goes to the CEO first or to the Director of Finance, and then in either way, the Director of Finance will provide advice, a request for advice, and then he will say, please advise, so please approve. Then based on the advice that I received from the Director of Finance, then I will approve.
Yes,
That there are no guarantors for these loans.
No guarantors, no contracts whatsoever.
No.
No procedure. So how do you intend to recover this loan?
Well, we recover this loan from the salaries of the staffs that are guaranteed this loan.
Have you paid for any, as council, I mean, not from your pocket, any staff, like their tuition fee at some point in time?
The tuition fee, capacity building, yes. Yes.
Do you have the list?
I should be able to have that.
I think one of the accounts clerk, I think Yaya Baoso, or I think Alu Serikan, or Omar Serikan, you paid for his tuition fee?
Omar, yes.
He, if I recall, said that he did not apply for the loan. There is no formal application.
It's formal application for the tuition fee or for the loan?
For the tuition fee.
For the tuition fee. Of course there are processes.
Yeah, so he did not formally apply for it. That's what I think. That's what I heard him say. That's the evidence that he did not apply for it. He sat where you're sitting, and gave us the narration regarding the process as to how he was given that scholarship or the fees were paid.
For the council to pay for your tuition fee, of course, there should be an application, and there are applications,
yes,
from the staff that intends to pursue a cost. But most importantly, the program that you want to pursue must be very relevant to your post.
Yes.
And you will bring the admission letter, the invoice for the cost. Usually, the payments will be, let's say, a certain percentage for the first semester or so, and then payments are effected.
Now, will you have that list, especially with the loan and the case of the individuals that benefit from the area council paying for their tuition fee, the staff? enhancement program, however you call it. Can you provide us with the list?
Yes.
And the necessary details.
Yes. The activity reports that we submitted here has the list of staffs who are undergoing studies.
No, but there should be a file regarding, for example, all those who benefit from the loan. There should be a file regarding that, and with all the necessary supporting documents, if any, so that you can track. You can track. You know, the activity report is a report. Now here, the file will be able to help you as CEO, as an administrator, to track how many individuals are issued loan, what guarantee, if any, you have, or any supporting document, contracts, if any, and then the process of recovery of these loans, for example.
Yeah, there's a loan ledger.
It's a loan ledger.
But like I said earlier on, you know, we do not have, let's say, details of.
But you don't have the details.
But there is a loan ledger, and then the staff who are undergoing various programs in various tertiary institutions, you know, the names are listed in the annual activity reports to indicate the status of their programs, whether they have completed or whether they
some
have
of
not.
these individuals were servicing loans while they were granted subsequent loans as well. For instance, the issue of Dembo Jase.
Yes.
And Ibrahima Jallo. Dembo Jase, with tin number 8807, the repayment amount, of course, clearly 4,559.42 is clearly above the 50% ceiling. And the previous loan balance was $122,907.50, but he was given a new loan of $300,000.
Yeah, again, that is incorrect, because one staff or an employee should not be given a loan while you're servicing another loan. I accept responsibility for the lapses in the issuance of
the same
of
with
loan.
Ibrahima Jallo as well. For the previous loan was $251,655.74, and the loan that was given to him was $200,000.
Yes.
And again, you accept responsibility for that?
Yes, the procedures are not right.
Yeah. So how do you know how much they are entitled to? I know you've already said there is no procedure or anything, but just for that specific issue, how would you know that Mr. X, based on his salary or grade, will be entitled to a maximum of $500,000, for example?
Yes, at my end, I only relied on the advice of the Director of Finance. And then there are instances where an employee will apply a loan for $50,000, and if I send this to the director, then he will say, please approve, let's say 35 or below. So the thinking will be, well, he has checked, and this is what this particular employee is eligible to receive.
All right. Well, we move to other issues, unless there are other questions regarding the loan. Yes.
Mine is not about the loan, it's about the deduction.
Yes.
If you go to page 86, there is a table there.
Yes, sir.
Does it really mean that some people work and they get deducted and then they don't collect anything at the end of the month? Is that what I'm seeing here? Fatoumata Jowate, basic pay 4,836, the allowance, and then gross pay, and then total deduction $6,336. So at the end of the month, they get nothing.
Yeah, if we go by the findings, with this 50%, more than 50% deduction, that is highly.
So
the case.
they have nothing to look upon to at the end of the month.
Yes, because of the incorrect deduction.
Do you think that person will be productive? I work and end of month I get nothing.
No, absolutely, is not the right decision, and it's one that I am not proud of.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any? Yes. Sir Jonga, again, thank you for your cooperation. We have on page 88 that the issue of non and incorrect performance of monthly bank reconciliation statements. It says, we noted overstatement of bank charges of $40,151.64 in the cash books for the year ended 31st December 2020. The charges were $48,827.94 and $88,979.58 in respect of EcoBank and statements and cash book respectively. Now, this will understate the total cash book balance, leading to misstatement of financial statements. Any response to that, sir?
Yes, if you will go further and look at the management response,
Yes.
it was that sometimes errors do occur during reconciliations and bank charges were duplicated.
Yes.
So the position of management at the time was that these were reversed in the bank reconciliation. And then, but there's an auditor's further comment that says there was no bank reconciliation statement for EcoBank
Yes.
2020.
2020.
Yes, and then after this, the Director of Finance provided copies of the bank reconciliations for EcoBank for 2020. I personally called the National Audit Office, and then together with the deposit slips of Molamin Nyasi, I was asked to keep this until for the next audit exercise. But when we were submitting documents requested by the Commission in May, we did submit the older bank reconciliation statements and also the council bank statements.
Yes, but again, if you do not present them, probably it's because it was not available at the time.
Yes, and then when we submitted them, then we were told that we keep the documents and wait until the next audit exercise. But when we were requested to submit the documents for the Commission in May, we did submitted the bank reconciliation statements.
You submitted the?
We submitted all the bank's reconciliation statements. I have a copy of the letter that was...
Yeah, but you have already said that you will submit the bank reconciliations for 2020.
Yes,
the idea is it was not given to the auditor, but you said you have it. And you asked for time to be given these bank reconciliations?
Yeah. What I'm saying, how will I call it? The audit is 2020, 2021.
Yes.
So at that point, the bank reconciliation statement for EcoBank 2020 was not provided to the auditors.
Yes.
And fast forward to 2023, when we were requested by the Commission to submit,
yes,
we submitted all the bank reconciliation statements to the Commission. And I would like to request if I can be given the opportunity. I don't know if the Secretariat will work tomorrow, and I'm willing to come over and go through the...
Yes, the Secretariat works.
Yes, so I don't know if, do I need to work with someone who I will have to meet here tomorrow and
yes,
go through our submissions?
absolutely.
Yes.
Now, you have on page 94 the issue of works assessment. See 3.10. Says we carried out physical inspection of works contracted to Shafjas by Brikama Area Council for road maintenance and rehabilitation along sections on the frontage of Box Bar Lot 2. The contract agreement was signed on 30th December 2020 for $3,087,190.17 buttons, and the following significant observations were noted. Number one, incomplete works. It says that the road maintenance was rehabilitation works were incomplete during our site visit on 22nd June 2022. Works should have been completed by September 2021. We further noted that the contractor was fully paid despite not completing the works. Why was that the case?
The contractor for Safjas was not fully paid. He only received an advance payment
of how much?
At the time, that's a 20%. At the
Can
time,
you go ahead.
At the time of the preparation
Yes.
of this report, it is obvious that there are delays with regards to the completion of this particular work. And then if we go to the management response, you will see reasons the reasons for the delay, which was due to the untimely procurement of the materials by the contractor. And then also, this period also coincided with a moment when there was a shortage of cement and basalt in the country. And there was a period when the road close to the frontage of Boxbar was also being rehabilitated by the National Road Authority. So that also contributed to the delay, but most especially the delay is on the part of the contractor due to lack of capacity, both financial and technical, to complete the work, moving towards even as we speak.
So it's still not complete?
It's still not completed.
And the full amount is not paid? Or is it paid?
No, the full amount is not paid.
So the auditors' findings are wrong?
Yes, the full amount is not paid. I can.
No, that's okay.
I can provide the commission with the amount that was paid.
Yes.
For this particular
Please
contract.
do provide us with all the details regarding payment.
Yes.
But you did not deny that in your management response. Maybe it was an oversight. The management response only said that the delay is mainly, you only address the issue of the delay and not the issue of the full payment, which was really highlighted by the auditor regarding the amount, the contract being fully paid. You did not deny that.
Yeah, it's an oversight that we did not deal with the issue of the payments.
Amount being fully paid. So please provide us with all the necessary documents regarding payment. We will cross-check that as well with the contractor if you are contesting the fact that there was full payment.
No, there was payment, but there was no full payment. Yes, yeah.
Now, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Turn to page 96. The issue of drilling of 2 boreholes.
Yes.
Says the council entered into contract with Baisa Lateral Drilling and Plumbing Enterprise for drilling of 2 boreholes for the community of Arankoni Kunda, Kanji Bat and Kanwali at Fonyi Bondali. The area council paid a contract price of $1,054,200 for the 2 boreholes. The project was to be completed 45 days after commence of the work, that is from 1st July to 15th of August 2021. We carried out site visit and noted the following. 1, incomplete works. You found out that both constructions are at a standstill. The water tank at Arankoni Kunda was leaking and 8 taps were installed instead of 11 as per the agreement. Therefore, these taps remained uninstalled. For Kanjibat and Kanwali, the contractor has stopped work since there was scarcity of water tanks. The pipes connecting the 2 villages was not installed. Do you see that?
Yes, I've seen
Any
it.
response?
Yes. First, the delay was largely due to the fact that it takes quite a number of weeks for us to obtain approval from the National Road Authority to be able to cut the road. What I mean, on the ground drilling.
Yes.
So because you need to have a pipe on the ground to be able to supply the other cluster community. So the process did take some time before we could secure this approval from NRA, and then we also have to sort for approval from GPPA for single sourcing that particular procurement, because the amount is over 330,000, and then we need to secure approval for single sourcing.
Why would you apply for single sourcing?
Because the amount is above the...
Yeah, but what was the ground for the application through single sourcing?
The ground is that there's only one contractor who is recommended by NRA to do the work. and that it happens to be the very contractor that we have awarded this contract to drill the boreholes.
So it's a known contractor.
No,
It's a known contractor. I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying it's a familiar contractor.
No. Yeah, yes, he is a known contractor by NRA, because when we wrote to NRA, the recommendation is that engage this contractor. I think it's based on their technical advice. So for us to make sure that the process is in line, we had to apply for approval to single source this particular contract, which is the road cutting. It also took time as well.
Go ahead.
When we received the reports, the rest of the 3 taps that were not fixed were fixed, and also the rest of the works that were outstanding were also completed. So these were some of the challenges that.
Can you provide us with the necessary details of all of these 2 borehole drilling?
Yes, I can. The contracts, again, were submitted here, but I can provide a copy
Yes.
of the contracts.
Yes,
I can provide a copy of the approval to single source.
We will need you to, exactly. We will need you to come and reconcile with the records, so that you can really provide all the necessary documents in relation to the award of that contract.
Sorry, Mr. Jonga,
Yes, sir.
I'm confused
Yes.
because you have 2 boreholes
Yes.
and there are 3 locations.
Yes.
One is around Kolkunda, Kanjibat, and Kamwali. And we are talking of 2. And these are 3 locations.
Yes.
Where are the boreholes fixed then?
Kanjibar and Kanwali are a cluster. They are cluster communities.
No. That was where I received my first salary. When you are going to Bondali, Kanjibat is on your left.
Yes.
Kamwali is further down on your right.
Which ward? This is Bantanjang ward, sir.
No, when we talk of Kanjibat, Kamwali, I'm talking of, this is Fonyi Bondali. Not
Yes, Bantanjang ward, yes. These are cluster communities. These are not far from each other.
They are not far.
No.
But you need to cross the road.
Yes, exactly, and that's why you have the issues of the road cutting.
Okay, so Kanjibat and Kamwali are sharing one borehole.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but the way it is written, when you read it technically, it looks as if it's 3 locations.
Yeah. But in the contract, is a cluster. Kanjibat and Kanwali is a cluster. Arankol is a standalone.
Yes, of course. Arankol is a standalone.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of the 2020-2021 audit report discussion. But of course, the outstanding issues are the ones you have asked the Commission to give you time. So when we come back next week, you would expect to have answers.
Yes, sir.
You know Malik Gai is a staff of the Department of Planning and Development.
Yes, sir.
That's a staff of the Area Council.
Yes, sir.
We know that Mr. Gai he has a company. Do you know about that?
Yes, sir.
It's Guy's Builders and specializing in designing and building construction.
Correct.
Now in 2022,
Yes.
he was awarded a contract for the rehabilitation of a mosque and toilet facilities within the council's premises at a cost of $700,000. Do you recall this?
Yes, sir.
Now, he was paid in 2021 $88,812 as per the voucher number, and you can write this down, 2021/4125.
2021/4125
for the roofing of car park storage and painting of the council old administrative building. So we could not trace any formal contract with Mr. Gaya as well. So what can you tell us regarding the contracts that were awarded to Mr. Gaya?
I remember about the rehabilitation of the mosque.
Yes.
And the rest of the works, the petty contracts, I am sure the documents should be available in the office. I'll find out. But with the rehabilitation of the mosque, the idea was initially to get a contractor from outside.
Yes.
And then based on the the BOQ that we received,
Yes.
you know, we thought at the level of the contracts committee that it is better to see if Mr. Gay will be able to do this work internally, where we will pay a far lesser amount for the rehabilitation of the mosque. And that precisely was the motivating factor. Instead of paying a higher amount, why not we make best use of Mr. Gay and, of course, some of the staff of the planning department who are either plumbers and also some are electricians, instead of outsourcing this particular rehabilitation. But the rest of the rehabilitations of the toilets and then the painting of the...
no, don't probably want, you may not want to use the word outsource. It may suggest that the works that are given to Mr. Guy were lawful, but then outsource means probably maybe the capacity at the time, or based on the density of the work that you have, is better in the circumstance to outsource it. But that would have been a regular thing to do by the staff or the people that work with you. This is the opposite. The regular thing to do would have been to contract someone.
Yeah, yes.
So outsourcing is not the...
I understand. Maybe outsourcing is not the right word,
Yeah.
but that was the motivation. So we felt we have the staff who can help at a more...
Now, let me ask you a direct question. Mr. If you give a contract to a staff of the area council,
Yes.
how sure are we as in anyone who is concerned, how can you convince the commissioners that there was no kickback, for example? That's the first direct question.
Yeah, well, I'm honest and I'm truthful, but
Yes.
with this there was no kickback from.
But can you convince anyone that?
Yes, well,
Genuinely,
yes,
do you think
to genuinely convince someone you need to have proofs, and under the circumstances it's a little difficult to have proofs.
Because of, do you see, the second question is, do you see any conflict of interest?
Yes, there is.
There is.
Yeah.
And so the process of awarding the contract to the staff of the area council that you followed is totally wrong.
Yes,
and unlawful.
Yeah, it's wrong. We oversighted the issue of conflicts of interest and those issues.
And
our focus was only limited on the cost aspects of using Mr. Gay instead of an outside contract.
So because conflict of interest exists, no one will ever know whether you have attained value for money.
Yes, but
you understand that?
Yes,
For instance,
I'll endeavor to get the original BOQ, and then I'll be able to prove that.
the idea that there is a conflict alone, even if the BOQ probably is less than what would ordinarily anyone would already see in the market, the idea that there's a conflict alone is so much substantial of an issue that you cannot just have given this contract to Mr. Guy in the first place. He operates a company.
No, what I wanted to add there is, if you look at the design, the original design, example for the ceiling, it was meant to be a plywood.
Yes.
A plywood.
Yes.
And then, but now the design you could see is a white cement, and that has not impacted on the cost.
Yes.
Because the commitment was there. Because when we even told Mr. Gate, we want to stick to the original design of the mosque.
Yes.
And he said he would take it upon himself to change the ceiling of the mosque and make it a white cement instead of the original design.
Right.
So if I know there is a conflict of interest. So
not only was there a conflict, you see, all you are saying could be true, but not only was there a conflict, also you disregarded the procurement rules as well. They did not follow any procurement regulation. You committed in 2021, $88,812 is 50 products to Mr. Guy.
How much is the amount, please?
With the PV number 2021/4125 in 2021, $88,812 is 50 products. Then that is for the roofing of a car park, storage and painting of the council's old administrative building. No regulation was followed. No process was followed. It's just an administrative decision. Who did you take this decision with?
With regards to the rehabilitations of the old, is it the old store?
Yes.
And then the painting of the old building?
Yes.
I will need to make consultations to confirm this, but what I can vividly remember here is the issue of the mosque.
Yes.
And then the issue of the mosque was discussed.
That's $700,000.
Yes, it was discussed at the levels of the contracts committee, but not all the members were around. The director of plan and development was not present at that point.
So to start with, even the contracts committee discussing that in the meeting, having it in the minutes, agreeing to it, that in itself, in fact, is wrong.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yes, I understand. Yes.
So, but we would like to see those minutes as well to know who were involved in this discussion. Write that down.
Yeah, but like I said, the director of planning and development was not present. At this meeting. Yes, she was away on Hajj during this period.
Okay, so but let's see the minutes of the meeting if you have it. And yes, please.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize that people have been paid twice? It's the council staff. It's council's job. The staff of council should have done the job. Why do you need to contract them?
Mr. Guy's profession.
No, my argument is, you've paid him twice. His regular salary was paid, and you paid him as a contractor. And you could have asked him, give him assignment. It's part of his job. Tell him that we want this mosque to be rehabilitated. You don't need to give him contract. We have working councils. We did projects within councils, and it's been done by our staff. You cannot contract your staff, and then you, at the end of the day, you pay them salary again. I understand what I'm saying.
Yes, but I will respectfully differ with that. Mr. Guy's position is example not related to construction. He's an architectural draftsman.
Sorry, where does he work?
He works in council under the Directorate of Planning and Development.
Yes, and then you contract him.
Yes.
It's just like the council having a consultancy work, and then you take it up and do it yourself as a consultant. It's the same.
I would say it will be different. Example, if we have staffs who are, let's say, laborers, and then instead of using our laborers, let's say, to clean a particular drainage, then we contract it out. Maybe that could be wrong to do that. But Mr. Gay, on the other hand, has a private, he was employed.
No, let's be realistic, my dear. You cannot have your staff, pay him salary at the end of the month, and then you give him contract, the same institution. That has not happened anywhere in the whole world.
Yes, sir. I know it's wrong to contract him, but also it will be wrong to ask him to do the rehabilitation of the mosque, because that is his private company. It's not official.
No, I don't want us to argue. What I'm simply saying is the mosque is owned by council.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guy is council staff.
Yes, sir.
Part of his TOR is that he is a builder or an architect.
No, not on his official employment letter. That is not indicated.
No, I don't want to argue on those petty things, but it was wrong for him to be paid at the end of the month and then be given contract. That's not correct.
Yeah, no, it's wrong to be given a contract.
Thank you.
Yes, it's wrong to be given a contract. Thank you.
Any other question?
Mr. Jonga, you've been asked a question, and you did answer that Mr. Gay is a staff of the council. Is that correct?
Yes, ma.
What does the rules, please refer us to the rules with respect to a staff and the institution giving the staff a contract. I will give you time. When you are coming back, please note it.
No, I have it. I have it.
Yes,
we can do it here.
Please read it for us.
If you go to the service rules, 2003, it's
Yes.
clearly indicate that.
Yes, read.
Okay.
Go straight to the service rules, please.
It's here, Regulation 0702, private works by local government officers. A local government officer may, with the routine approval of the chief executive, accept paid work in addition to his duties. Such work shall not in any circumstances be carried out during official working hours or be such as prejudice or compromise his official duties. No council resources has to be used in carrying out such work.
Yes, these are the service rules.
For the local
civil
government,
service,
service rules.
Service rules.
Yes.
Dated when?
203.
203.
Yes.
Can you avail that to us, the copy?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We will look at it and we'll come back to it.
Thank you.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Council, we may proceed.
Now, the revenue baseline of council
D,
for 2020, did you conduct an assessment for 2020?
can you please repeat your question?
Did you conduct an assessment for 2020?
Revenue assessment?
Yes, yes.
Yes, the revenue collectors conducts assessments prior to collection.
Yeah, so do you have the assessment report for 2020? Is there
Do
an assessment report for 2020?
There should be assessment reports with the collectors. Because the information is what gives us the basis to set the revenue targets for.
Yes, but you will have to have a document once you've completed that from the revenue collectors or whosoever is conducting the assessment, then you will know exactly how much your revenue baseline would be for a given year. For instance, your revenue assessment for 2020, the compilation, for 2021 and for 2022, do you have that?
Maybe I will need time to consult the Director of Finance because I will want to engage him and find out if they are ready-made records of the assessment.
Have you, because the law is the responsibility of the Director of Finance, of course, and he's responsible and answerable to you in that category. Do you have a system wherein if the assessment is done by the Director of Finance in his office, if the assessment is done, do you have a system wherein you look into the assessment, review it, and have a document for it to ascertain exactly how much is given in a given year? If the answer is yes, you would have had minutes of meetings or a report to that effect in relation to what the revenue baseline is for a particular year.
Yes, I know there are discussions during the course of the assessments, but like I said earlier on, I will need to consult with the director to confirm if there are ready-made reports available for the assessments.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So we will, how long do you need? Time?
Maybe by next week Thursday, I should be able to have that.
Thursday would be very far. I think if we can have it by Tuesday, because we don't intend to have you here until, you want to be here until Thursday?
No, I'm just being reasonable to ask for a more reasonable time.
We need to hear the witnesses, so I would suggest if we can have these documents by Tuesday, then we may want to conclude with you latest Thursday.
The assessments?
Yeah, and in addition to the assessment, all the documents you have said that you will provide.
Yeah, yes, so I will start the search tomorrow, like I requested early on.
Yes, please write that down, please. Unless there are other questions, Chairperson, that will be all for the witness for today.
Any questions? Women rice.